So we've got this story coming up on Pro Football Talk that my boy here brought up, Ty in the Bronx, talking about Matt Stafford being put on the trade block, according to the Detroit Free Press, is what it's saying here. It says the out of the Honolulu Blue report, WDIV TV in Detroit, is that the Lions are engaged in trade talks regarding quarterback Matt Stafford, likely comes from the pre-free agency efforts of agents who represent other quarterbacks to line up deals for their own clients by scaring away other agents who represent other quarterbacks from potential landing spots. For example, spreading the word that a team like the Chargers, Colts, or Buccaneers will be trading for Stafford, the agent then in theory can work on getting a deal done for his or her own client with one of those teams while the agents may steer clear. It goes like this. Agent John Doe wants to get his client Joe Turdball, a potential future Hall of Famer, as discussed in recent editions of PFT Live, signed by the Buccaneers. Other agents representing Turdball's peers want their own client to be signed by the Buccaneers. So if John Doe can make other agents think that the Buccaneers may trade for Matt Stafford, other agents may waver just enough to allow a preliminary deal to get done between the Bucs and Mr. Turdball. Okay? It says it's incredibly low-tech approach, and it likely won't do much to get agents to double clutch, but that's what agents are doing, we're told, as unprecedented numbers of quarterbacks become available in free agency otherwise. To be clear, I'm not reporting that Bernie Smilovitz of WDIV TV fell victim to this dynamic, but I am reporting that the Lions definitely aren't engaged in trade talks regarding Stafford. So, Ty, you, sir, are you're pure American, my brother. Pure American. You fell for a headline, and you didn't bother reading the story. Typical lazy American. Well, look, PFT's reporting that they're on the trade block. But did you read the story, Ty? Did not read the story. Yeah, this happens all the time. We post a podcast, right? And Bill will post a segment of something. And it'll say something in the headline. Somebody will respond right away. And then I'll respond to them and I'll say, I can tell you didn't listen to the segment. You went off the headline. Can't go off the headline. Got to read the story. Read the story. Pro Football Talk isn't reporting that Matt Stafford's on the trading block. Now there's a station in Detroit, WDIV TV, is reporting that. Okay? So, listen, I get it. 80% of you are just lazy, and you just see a headline in an article or in anything, and you just react off of it. And the headline sometimes is not what the story's about, or the podcast, or whatever. Okay? Don't go off the headline. So, and listen, as for the Dolphins, I would not trade for Matt Stafford if I'm the Dolphins at this point, because Matt is not a future. Matt is a now. And the Dolphins aren't for the now. They're trying to build for the future, because by the time you're good, Matt Stafford is done. So that doesn't help you at all. So I'm not sure what your question was going to be, Ty, if you were going to lead it to should they trade for him or whatever. Remember, when you're paying somebody $20-something million to be your quarterback, you also have to give up picks. Get the hell out of here. I'm not doing that. Look, you trade for Matt Stafford if you feel you're a Matt Stafford away from winning a title. So if you're the Colts or you're the Bucs that, you got a pretty good team and you think he's a better option than Jameis, then go for it. Right? If you're the Tennessee Titans and you think that if we add Matt Stafford, we're going to be a little better than Ryan Tannehill, then go for it. But you're the Dolphins, doesn't do anything for you, man. Doesn't do anything for you. Let's see. John says, yeah, Pete, chill. That's right. Pete, chill. You are right, though. That's why we needed to lose more games. Uh, Let me see. John, you told me you don't like Big O because he was a liberal. Don't be fake. Big O is the man. I don't. That liberal or conservative or what. I don't go with any of those labels. You guys go with those labels because if I like my guns, am I liberal? Right? It's just a convenient thing that people throw out there. Ty from the Bronx says, NFL radio is saying where there's smoke, there's fire, and Mike Florio said many teams will be interested. Mike Florio just said they're not reporting it, Ty. Okay, my brother? He just said it there on his report. They're not reporting it. And basically, he wrote this article to kind of almost make fun of the TV guy with Matt Stafford. If you didn't really understand the story. Well, you didn't read the story. That's right. Papa Hog says, Big O, what do you think of the trade in Xavier Howard, a number 1 draft this year, a number 1 and 2 next year to move up overall? I think, Papa Hog, you're probably smoking a hog. Let's see. What else do we have here? Dougie Fresh says, Big O, Stafford is not needed, has a tough vet, but we have already a smart one. Papa Hog says, no, do not want to trade for Matt Stafford. We do not need any more has-beens. George says, none of the options out there are really better than what our Finns have in-house already. Stick to the plan. I agree. Stick to the plan. Stay with Fitz and develop a young guy. Draft a young guy. It's about the future, guys. It's not about drafting a guy that is old already at this point and he's at the back end of his career. That's not going to help the Dolphins. It's kind of like the people that say, you should trade for Tom Brady if you're a young team. No, you probably shouldn't because you're going to need another quarterback in a year or two. So why would you do that? What you do is you trade for Tom Brady. Oh, I'm sorry, not trade. You sign Tom Brady if you're a team that's right now on the cusp, not a team that's building still. I don't think that makes any sense for you. But that's just me. Let's see. What else do we have? 100%. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, George. Appreciate it. Appreciate it big time. Thank you. And you guys can continue chiming in on the YouTube chat board. As always, we'll check it and we'll give you the latest. But for Matt Stafford, that does nothing for me. Guys, it's about drafting, Tua or Jordan Love or Anthony Gordon or Nate Stanley, whatever. It's about drafting a quarterback or two from this draft. Keep developing Josh Rosen and then see what you have. That's all. And I know some of you out there, forget Josh Rosen. Well, Drew Brees sucked for 4 years. And then the light went on for Drew Brees. Okay, so, I'm not going to give up on the kid yet. All right? But as for building this team, you got to put pieces that you can build for the future. And Fitz is a perfect guy right now as a bridge. Okay? He's better than I even expected myself. I got to say I was way wrong on that one. But you got to find a guy. And again, I'm not big on the Tua thing because he's injury prone. But if you do, well then, hey, that's how you start to build for the future. Right now, Matt Stafford on this team, can you imagine trading for a guy that still doesn't have a great line here in Miami? So you're going to trade for him, give up picks, give him $20+ million. He's probably going to want an extension. And then you're also going to get him injured because you still don't have an offensive line. And just because you draft a guy or two this year doesn't mean that your line is going to go from being terrible to being exceptional. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take a couple of years to fix that line. It's not going to be fixed just this year, ladies and gentlemen, because now you're asking that you're going to hit on all your picks, and you and I know that that's just not the truth. You're going to swing and miss on some. You're going to hit on some. So we don't know. It's going to take a couple of years to straighten out this line. You can't get this guy killed. You can't get a guy like that. You get a guy that's a transition guy. Matt Stafford's a franchise player that you get because you feel that that's the difference piece to put you over the top. If he's not that guy, then you don't trade for him or you don't sign him if you're that team. As for Miami, you're in a completely different stage. You're in a building stage. That's not a quarterback you get to build right now. He's not young anymore. How old is Matt Stafford? I want to say he's got to be either 29 to 31 or something like that, right? I would say. Because he's been in the league for a while. Let me see where it's at here. Here it is. He is 32. No way, man. No way. I'm sorry. I am not going to get that. And here's the other thing about Matt Stafford. And take it from a guy that like Matt Stafford coming out of college. He's been good. He's not a great quarterback. Because the great ones tend to stay away from that bad mistake. And he doesn't. He will make that lazy throw, that off-balance throw, and get you in trouble too. So even if you're a contender, you still have to kind of bring the reins in a little bit with him. In other words, let me tell you something. The Bears and Tennessee would be great for him. Matt Stafford, in a perfect world, you'd like to keep him under 30 throws. You'd like to have a completely dominant running game and line, kind of like what Dak Prescott has, and I think you can make him more efficient. But if he's a guy that has to ad-lib more and has to kind of stretch plays out and make more plays because you're more dependent on him, that doesn't mean that he can't, what I'm about to say. He can. He can get it done for you. But it's going to cost you at times. And sometimes it might cost you a game or two because he'll make that throw that you just cringe. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to be careful with Matt Stafford. So that, I'm not the guy that would want Matt Stafford. Anyway, if the Dolphins were close to a title and that was the difference, I can probably go with, all right, I'll try it. What the hell? There's no better options out there, except for Tom Brady. And by the way, can you imagine if the Dolphins were on the brink of a title and all they needed was a quarterback and Tom Brady becomes available, how much he would love to come to Miami and stick it to the Patriots? That would be pretty cool. But if I was that team that was just a quarterback away and that was my best option, all right, I'll try Matt Stafford. And again, what I told you, I need that environment. Dominant running game in line so I can say, Matt, you're going to make plays for us, but we're going to kind of keep it controlled. We're going to dominate with the running game. We're going to punch people in the mouth. We want to control the clock. We want to minimize possessions, and we want you to take care of the football. That kind of stuff. That's what I would do. But if you let Matt Stafford gunsling, you're going to get in trouble, okay? You're going to get in trouble at times. And I like him, man. I like him, but I got to say that he didn't turn out to be as good as I thought he would be. So I can't say that I was wrong about the pick because he's had a solid career, but I can't say that I was like dead on right on that one. You know what I mean? I can't look at it there. I can say like he's been all right. That's the way I would describe him. A hell of a talent, but he's all right. If it wasn't for those questionable throws at times, that's what makes me cringe about the kid. Sick ability. I will say that.